Dear students, today we are going to discuss the second chapter of a book, The Adventures of Toto. So we are doing the Mormon's book, the second chapter. This chapter has been written by Ruskin Bond, who's an Indian writer. So I'll be explaining the chapters and I have made some animated video for this. So now basically this chapter is a part which is taken from the Monkey Trouble chapter from Ruskin Bond's book. Grandfather bought Toto from a Tonga driver. Toto is the name of the monkey. From a Tonga driver for the sum of 5 rupees, the Tonga driver used to keep the little red monkey tied to a feeding trough. Trough is a bucket, and the monkey looked so out of place there. The grandfather decided he would add this little fellow to his private zoo. So now if you see here, I have tried to make an animation for this. So grandfather had seen that this monkey was kept tied to a trough, and this red colored monkey, as you can see in the picture, and then finally he was brought to grandfather's private zoo. Toto was a pretty monkey, his bright eyes sprinkled with mischief beneath deep-set eyebrows, and his teeth, which were a pearly white, were very often displayed in a smile that frightened the life out of elderly Anglo-Indian ladies. Now you know that Ruskin Bond is an Indian writer, but he's not of an Indian origin. So he's mentioning Anglo-Indians. I hope you know who are Anglo-Indians. They are a mixture of English and Indian ladies. But his hands look dried up as though they have been pickled in the sun for many years. They are like the dry skinned. Pickled is like we make pickles, we dry them in the sun. Yet his fingers were quick and wicked, and his tail, while adding to his good looks, grandfather believed that a tail would add to anybody's good look, also served as a third hand. So this monkey is not only having two hands but a tail that adds to his hands, and grandfather believes that anybody can be looking smart with a tail. So you know what is the meaning of wicked? Wicked is something bad. He could use it to hang from a branch and is capable of scooping up any delicacy that might be out of reach of his hands. So now he's a monkey. He'll display the qualities of a monkey. Scooping is holding onto somebody, like we have a scoop of ice cream. Grandmother always refused when grandfather brought home some new bird or animal, so it was decided that Toto's presence should be kept a secret from her until she was in a particularly good mood. Grandfather and I put him away in a little closet opening in my bedroom wall. Closet is a cupboard, where he was tied securely, or we thought, to a peg fastened into the wall. A peg is a small part of wood that was into the wall. So now they have tied the monkey there, hoping that he will stay there and they can do their work and come back and see. A few hours later, when grandfather and I came back to release Toto, we found that the walls, which had been covered with some nice ornamental paper chosen by grandfather, now stood out as naked brick and plaster. So this monkey has used his fingers and his his nails to actually drag out, and he has tried to manage to run away. The peg in the wall had been wrenched. It has been taken out from its socket, and my school blazer, which was hanging there, was in shreds. I wondered what grandmother would say, but grandfather didn't worry. He seemed pleased with Toto's performance. As if the monkey has done a very clever task, he has not only managed to run away, but also he has managed to shred the blazer that belonged to the author when he was in school. He's clever, said grandfather. Given time, I'm sure he could have tied the torn pieces of a blazer into a rope and made it escape from the window. So grandfather says if he's given time, he can take the blazer, take those parts that he has shredded, he can make a rope and he can run away. So Toto was an intelligent monkey overall. His presence in the house was still a secret. Toto was now transferred to a big cage in the servants' quarter, where a number of grandfather's pets lived very sociably together. So now what are the pets they are having? He is having a tortoise, a pair of rabbits, and they have a tame squirrel, pet squirrel, and at the last and while my pet goat. So they had a goat also for some time. What happens next? But the monkey won't allow any of his companions to sleep at night, so grandfather, who had to leave Dehradun next day to collect his pension in Saharanpur, decided to take him along. So he was decided that Toto would go along, because all these animals that we have talked about, rabbit, squirrel, goat, tortoise, they were all very fed up of him because he was not allowing them to sleep. Unfortunately, I would not accompany grandfather on that trip, but he told me about it afterwards. A big black canvas kit bag was provided for Toto. This, with some straw at the bottom, straw is the bhusa that we call, became his new abode. Abode means home. When the bag was closed, there was no escape. Toto could not get his hands through the opening, and the canvas was too strong for him to bite his way through. Canvas is the thick kind of covering cloth. Sometimes we use it for covering our houses also. The canvas bag was made, and there was no chance of his running away. Toto could not run away. His efforts to get out only had the effect of making the bag roll on the floor and occasionally jumping into the air, an exhibition that attracted a curious crowd of onlookers on the Dehradun railway platform. So now his only way to escape was that he has to jump inside the bag. The bag will start rolling. Imagine you are standing at a station and platform and you see something rolling and coming towards you, and that to a bag. Everybody will think as if a terrorist has come or some activity has happened. So you can imagine what kind of an exhibition that would have been if he had tried. Toto remained in the bag as far as Saharanpur. Nothing happened. But while grandfather was producing his ticket at the railway station, Toto suddenly poked his head out of the bag and gave the ticket collector a wide grin. He started laughing. Grin is while showing his teeth. Now, seeing a monkey traveling with any person would not be anything expected. It is alarming and surprising. Imagine somebody is sitting next to you and traveling along with a monkey or an animal. Is very surprising because we don't see this thing. The poor man was taken aback. He was surprised, but with great presence of mind and much to grandfather's annoyance to make him angry, he said, "Sir, you have a dog with you. You'll have to pay for it accordingly." Now he is calling Toto as a dog, but whereas Toto is a monkey. In vain did grandfather make Toto out of the bag. In vain did he try to prove that a monkey did not qualify as a dog or even as a quadruped. Quadruped is animal who walks on four legs. Toto was classified a dog by the ticket collector, and 3 rupees was the sum handed over as his fare. Now, sometimes these people are adamant, and they are government employees. You cannot go against them. The ticket collector, the TC, was adamant that this is a dog. You have to pay for it. And ultimately, grandfather, trying to prove that no, it's not a dog, he had to pay an amount of 3 rupees. Then grandfather, just to get his own bag, took out from his pocket a pet tortoise and said, "What must I pay for this, since you charge for all animals?" So now grandfather was in a very funny mood. He takes out the tortoise. He says, "If you're charging for all the animals, then what is the charge? I should pay for this also." The ticket collector looked closely at the tortoise, prodded it with his forefinger. He tried to move him with his forefinger, gave grandfather a pleased and triumphant look, and said, "No charge, it is not a dog." So here, if you see in the book also, this picture is mentioned where they're trying to, you can see how he's coming out of the bag, and this is the ticket collector. When Toto was finally accepted by grandmother, he was given a comfortable home in the stable where he had for a companion the family donkey, Nana. Nana is the name of the family donkey. They have a donkey in their family, Nana. On Toto's first night in the stable, grandfather paid him a visit to see if he was comfortable. To his surprise, he found Nana without apparent cause pulling at her halter and trying to keep her head as far as possible from a bundle of hay. Now, she was not trying to eat bundle of hay. Now, normally donkeys or these animals, when they have food, they try to attempt to eat the food. Grandfather gave Nana a slap across her haunches. He hits her at the backside and she jerked back, dragging Toto with her. He had fastened onto her long ears with his sharp little teeth. As you see in the picture, he is actually trying to eat her ears, and she is being paranoid. The donkey is being paranoid. Toto and Nana never became friends. How is it possible? A great treat for Toto during cold winter's evening was the large bowl of warm water given him by grandmother for his bath. He would cunningly test the temperature with his hand, then gradually step into the bath, first one foot, then the other, as he had seen me doing, until he was into the water up to his neck. So he had a fascination for bathing, but he has a proper technique. He has seen the author going and settling in the water, and then accordingly he also does. A monkey is a very clever creature here in the story. Once comfortable, he would take the soap in his hands or feet and rub himself all over. When the water became cold, he would get out and run as quickly as he could in the kitchen fire in order to dry himself. He had that much of brains. If anybody laughed at him during his performance, Toto's feeling would be hurt and he would refuse to go on for his bath. One day, Toto nearly succeeded in boiling himself alive. This is a very important incident for your exam purpose. A large kitchen kettle had been kept on fire to boil for tea, and Toto, finding himself with nothing better to do, decided to remove the lid. Finding the water just warm enough for a bath, he got in with his head sticking out of the open kettle. So now when he sees that there's a kettle of water, the water is boiling for tea, he gets inside and he removes the lid. Now he's not able to come out. This was just fine for a while until the water began to boil. Imagine now a living creature boiling. Toto then raised himself a little, but finding it cold outside, sat down again. He continued hopping up and down for some time until grandmother arrived and hauled him, that is, shouted at him, half boiled out of the kettle. The grandmother finally rescued this monkey out of the kettle. If there's a part of the brain specially devoted to mischief, that part was largely developed in Toto. He was always tearing things to pieces. Whenever one of my aunts came near him, he would make effort to get hold of a dress and tear a hole in it. So imagine if people are coming to your place and you are having a pet which is disrupting people and tearing their clothes. How will it feel? So embarrassing. One day at lunchtime, a large dish of pulao stood in the center of the dining table. We entered the room to find Toto stuffing himself with rice. My grandmother screamed and Toto threw a plate at her. Again another mischief, he's trying to throw things on people. One of my aunts rushed forward and received a glass of water in her face. Again a very not supposingly to be happening in an incident. When grandfather arrived, Toto picked up the dish of pulao and made his exit through a window. We found him in the branches of the jackfruit tree. The dish still in his arms, he remained there all afternoon, eating slowly through the rice, determined on finishing every grain. And then, in order to spit grandmother, who had screamed at him, he threw the dish down from the tree and chattered with delight when it broke into 100 pieces. So now you see he is doing this on deliberate basis. So he is an animal, he is trying to take a revenge. Obviously Toto was not the sort of pet we would keep for long. Even grandfather realized that we were not well-to-do and could not afford the frequent loss of dishes, clothes, curtains and wallpaper. So grandfather found the Tonga driver and sold Toto back to him for only 3 rupees. So ultimately at the end of the story he is sold back to the owner. So this story has been written by Ruskin Bond, a very beautiful story. I hope you understood. See, I have these are the last page and these are the questions that you have, 5 questions, and I am sharing with you the notes in your homework section. Kindly complete your classwork, whatever work has been given to you, and I hope you have understood, and if you have any queries, feel free to contact. Thank you.